So now what happened was, so only few technicians, they got a lot of work and they were overwhelmed at times. That literally was very challenging both for the vendors and also for the technicians. And now by moving this direction, like where you heard from Mubashir that we are moving from 3 exams and 3 trainings to 1 exam and 1 training, this literally gives every technician equal opportunity to go and support our customers.
Hello and welcome to the Cisco Learning Network podcast. That was Anish Sokat Ali, Program Manager of the CCT or Cisco Certified Field Technician certification. In this episode, Anish speaks alongside Certification Portfolio Manager Mubashir Nawaz about the CCT program with Cisco Learning Network Community Manager Tanner Swift. The CCT certification is designed to prove you have the skills to diagnose, restore, repair, and replace critical Cisco networking and system devices at customer sites. Together, Anish and Mubashir describe how the need arose for this certification, as well as resources and how you can get started preparing for the exam associated with the CCT certification.
We are going to cover the new CCT exam topics. We'll also discuss some insights into the CCT learning path in Cisco U, including track structures and content updates, as well as the timeline for the CCT training launch, including book and exam launch dates and end-of-life details for current exams. We have so much more available for you today. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our first speaker and kick things off by sending it to Mubashir, who's going to share the importance of the CCT program. Mubashir, right over to you.
Thank you very much, Tanner. I'm really excited for this opportunity to present upcoming changes in the Cisco CCT certification program. My name is Mubashir Nawaz, and I'm Certification Portfolio Manager, managing all the certification programs from entry to expert level exams. Coming back to your question, Tanner, so CCT program mandates our field technicians to be certified before they support our customers on site. It helps them gain the knowledge for the Cisco products and components, and also gives our customers peace of mind that a certified individual is handling the Cisco equipment on site. It all started in 2016 with the introduction of the 3 CCT certifications for routing and switching, collaboration, and data center. As the landscape of products and technologies is changing, we needed to update the CCT program and certify our field technicians in line with the changes that are coming in Cisco products and technologies.
Thanks so much, Mubashir. Would you mind walking our attendees through the Cisco support lifecycle?
Just in case you're not aware, the Cisco support lifecycle refers to the structured timeline that defines how long Cisco will support its hardware and software products. This lifecycle helps customers plan for upgrades, maintenance, and replacements.
So let's look at the Cisco support lifecycle. So once the devices are installed and an issue arises, which is not in line with the expected behavior of the products, this causes network emergency at our customer site. Our customers in this case reach out to Cisco TAC for on-site field technician support. Cisco TAC goes ahead and informs the field technician of the issue, and they discuss it with TAC, and an engineer visits the customer site to resolve the issue, providing a holistic end-to-end support cycle for our customers.
Thanks again, Mubashir. I think a common question that we get with certifications and programs anytime we have updates is what is actually changing? Can you discuss what some of those changes are and what's different with CCT?
Definitely, Tanner. So what once was 3 offerings will now be streamlined into one comprehensive certification. This new CCT certification addresses current Cisco technologies, the convergence of various network domains, and alignment with the Cisco product and portfolio. The new exam is called Supporting Cisco Devices for Field Technicians with an exam code of 500-150. Similarly, the new training version 1.0 has several advantages with reduced timings for training, from 25 hours to 10 hours only. Interactive learning items for engagement and retention has been added to address the needs of the upcoming generation. And lastly, comprehensive coverage of topics to address the changing demands of the industry. The exam is also changed now to 120 minutes, 1 exam only, rather than having 3 exams previously, which were 90 minutes each, and covers more comprehensive knowledge with 100 items in the exam. So there is 1 exam, 100 items, and you get your certification for the field technician. Tanner, I will hand it over back to you to bring in Anish to give us a demo and provide some more details on the new field technician training and exam.
Really appreciate it, Mubashir. We'll talk to you again soon once we come back around to our Q&A portion of today's event. And at this time, we will be bringing in our next speaker, Anish, who will introduce himself to you and discuss why these changes now. Anish, right over to you.
Thank you, Tanner, for the introduction. I'm Anish Shaukat. I work as a program manager in the Learning and Certifications organization at Cisco. I'm responsible for maintaining and managing the CCT program. So to answer your question, why now, right? That's a great question. So this question arised to us not now. Like we started thinking of this major update to this program a year back. If you remember, of late, there have been many instances that the constant word that you hear from the industry and the trends is consolidate, right? Everywhere you see consolidate, consolidate, consolidate. And we also did that by sending out a survey to our community. We heard from our community and we got the survey results that they also prefer to have a generalist exam and training as opposed to 3 exams and 3 training, right? And one of the main benefits by making this change is that, if you imagine in the previous offerings, when we had a technician who is, suppose, a route switch technician could go only to support the route switch remediation procedures. And the data center technician could go only to support data center remediation procedures and the collab, so on and so forth. So now what happened was, so only few technicians, they got a lot of work and they were overwhelmed at times. That literally was very challenging both for the vendors and also for the technicians. And now by moving this direction, like where you heard from Mubashir that we are moving from 3 exams and 3 trainings to 1 exam and 1 training, this literally gives every technician equal opportunity to go and support our customers.
Thanks so much, Anish. Really appreciate it. Yeah, let's take some time, if you don't mind, to walk us through the Cisco U structure for CCT.
And if you'd like to see the full demonstration that Anish walks through, showing the entirety of the Cisco U's training offerings for CCT, please visit the link in the description of this episode.
Sure. The acronym is FLDTEC, Field Tech. And we have 4 tracks. The track 1 is called Network Foundations. We cover the network foundations, the basic. And track 2, we cover the best practices and the tools that a technician should use. And track 3, we cover information on the infrastructure and the collaboration device support. And track 4, we cover data center and the UCS track support. Every track has 3 courses, right? So the course 1 in Network Foundations, that covers from the very basic, as this field tech is targeted basically for the entry level. So we have covered information on the network layer 1, 2, and even network layer 3, IP addressing and subnetting. Those information we have covered there. And in the Cisco equipment and the hardware foundations, we have covered information on the different layers we find here, like core layer, distribution layer, and access layer. We also give introduction to all our technologies. Like, we have given information on the, infrastructure devices and data center. We talk about the Nexus and the MDS devices there, and even collaboration endpoints and the, devices that we have right now. So those things are covered there. And in the third course, the iOS software foundations, there we have covered information on the different iOS, we have, like iOS, iOS XR, XC, and NXOS. We covered about that. And we also cover information on some of the useful commands that technician should know to gather from the device, and also some useful information about what tools to use. So those things also we have covered there. So in track 2, the first course, common service tasks and tools. So here we have covered information about how a technician should make their PC ready to go and support the customers. This also includes the applications and tools that they should have, basic from the notepad, the TFTP or FTP, all the tools that they should be having it in their laptop before they go and support our customers. In the course 2, installing replacement hardware, so there we have covered information like ensuring safety, what kind of safety measures they should have, and what kind of basic telnet and how to use telnet and how to use the different tools that they carry along with them. So those things we have covered there. And in the third course, implementing Cisco software and configurations, there we have covered information on the boot up process and how to take backup from the current device, and they should copy it into the new replacement device, right? So those kind of information we have shared it there. And in track 3, as I said, we have covered information on the infrastructure and the collaboration device support. So in the course one, the infrastructure and collaboration architecture, so we have given here in detail on the key elements that happen in the infrastructure environment, from routers to switches to firewalls. And also collaboration, you talk about the different architecture and different protocols. There are many information about the protocols that being used, and different the meeting server and the telepresence and anything on that sort we have covered there. And in the course 2, infrastructure hardware replacement, this is where it gets interesting. So we have covered a lot of information on how to do the chassis replacement and the components replacement in detail, and with each and every step captured, right? And in the components replacement, we have covered how to replace the supervisor module, how to replace the fan modules, fan trays, power supply, all those things we have covered there in the infrastructure hardware replacement. And in the collaboration hardware replacement, same, what we have done in the course 2, same treatment is applied there, but just in the collaboration hardware standpoint. So we have given information on how to replace the peripherals, devices like IP phones, and from that, and also to how to replace a Cisco board, Cisco desk, and all those things we have covered there in detail, right? And in track 4, we have covered the first course, which is UCS and data center architecture and management. Here we talked about virtualization. We have given introduction to the data center world, because I know it's a very huge chunk of information. So we have tried to consolidate and provided very crisp information. And in terms of the management, we have also discussed about the Cisco Intersite, Cisco CI SIMC, and also the Cisco UCS manager, and how to manage the devices, right? In the data center hardware replacement course, what we have done is we have also come up with how to replace the modules in the Cisco Nexus switch, and also what to do in terms of the Cisco MDS switch. So we have given extensive information on how to do the replacement on the IOM modules, or the fan trays, power supplies, line cards. So we have given every information on the data center front. And in the UCS hardware, the reason we have divided data center and UCS separately is that to give specific importance to the UCS portion. So in the UCS also, we have given information on how to replace the effects modules. We have also given many examples on different hardwares, like how to replace the hardware in terms of the blade servers, C series, and also E series.
In his demonstration, Anish moves next to a display of the Cisco U Learning Path tracks that correspond to each of the 4 tracks he just mentioned that make up the supporting Cisco devices for field technicians training: Cisco Network Foundations, Cisco Service Process and Tools, Cisco Infrastructure and Collaboration Device Support, and Cisco UCS and Data Center Device Support. Again, if you'd like to see this part of the demonstration, please visit the link in the description.
On the right-hand side, you would see the learning path name and the tracks. As you saw, we have 4 tracks, and if you click on it, you will have different courses on it. So as you saw back, we had 3 courses for each track. So that's what you see here in the Cisco U interface. So before I jump in and show you the real content, and one other main thing that we kept in mind, content consolidation. We did content updates, and also we improved the content experience. So I'll just go through that one by one, right? So in terms of the consolidation, as you know that we have moved from 3 to 1. So in the old 3 courses like RS Tech training, DC Tech, and CL Tech, there are a few information like how to do the password recovery, what tools to take, everything. So those things we have consolidated it. In terms of the content updates, what we have done in this time is that we tried to be more relevant as possible. And on top of that, for each topic, we also have a content review question. So we have a topic and followed by a review question. It depends on the length of the topic. So somewhere you find 1, 2, minimum at least 1 question is there for each topic. So this is also very useful in terms of enhancing the learners' learning capability, and they could check, right? It's like instant check. So that is one thing we have done. And on top of that, we have also done improvements on in terms of the interactive items, right? So in the previous versions, we didn't have any interactive items, but now in this one, we have a lot of interactive items. So we have added almost 36 of them. So there are 36 interactive items that are very useful, and it would be fun to learn.
Really appreciate it, Anish. Thanks so much for walking us through the Cisco U side of things and for the demo. Would you mind walking our attendees through the Cisco U structure for CCT and the launch timeline as well?
Yeah, sure. So the Cisco U training is already available in Cisco U, the field tech training. So we just launched it on December 5. So those who have all access, definitely should go check it out. And we also have a blog that is being posted in Cisco site, so that we published on December 12. And of course, the webinar that's happening today. what's happening next is that, so the last date to test the current offerings, the RS Tech, CL Tech, and the DC Tech, if you wish to take the current ones, that is on February 9th. But the excitement part of the new exam, the Field Tech exam, so that goes live on February 10th. Definitely go and check it out in the CLN space where we have posted the domains and the blueprint. It's available there, so you should definitely go check it out. And as Mubashir mentioned, it's a 120-minute 100-question exam, so you should expect the questions based on the domain you could see there.
Really appreciate it, Anish. Thank you so much. So we have reached the Q&A portion of today's event. So we will go ahead and take some time for questions now as we bring both Mubashir and Anish back into the fold. Let's get to our first question here. Anish, I'm going to start with you for this one. What level of access is needed in Cisco U to be able to access this CCT content?
So as I mentioned earlier, so those who have all access a subscription in Cisco U, definitely they can go ahead and check it out. Yeah, and if they wish to purchase, so this is a standalone learning path. So those who wish to buy, they can buy as a standalone and they could start the preparation for the exam.
Here's a good question, and a lot of people like anytime that we offer a new certification, how does this compare to like a CCST or a CCNA certification? How does the CCT compare to one of those?
But whatever advancement come or whatever technological advancement come in the future, you should have a strong foundation, right? So even CCNA, for many, I've heard from many people that also is a bit tough. But CCT, the Field Tech, so we are starting from a foundation level, from a basic level. So I would say that just as an example, there can be many skyscrapers, right? But the foundation should be very strong. So in that aspect, I would say this Field Tech would definitely act as a good foundation and give immense value to anybody who wish to start their career in networking.
And I'll just add to what Anish just mentioned here, Tanner. CCT is really the core of your hardware. How do you install it? What kind of iOS? What kind of UCS versions? All that thing is covered in your CCT exam. So if you go and certify that builds a really strong foundation for you to be ready for the next step in your career. And you can go and do CCST or you can go and do CCNA and eventually doing professional and expert level exams even. But to have that strong foundation in place, we highly recommend CCT exam. It's a really good one. Looking at the demo that Anish presented with all those interactive items, bringing in all these learning methods that are being used by the next generation over here, it is really amazing. And I'm really excited about this one from that demo that I just saw from Anish.
Great, thanks so much. Let's get to this next question from Diego. Would you recommend the certification to somebody who has Net Plus?
So as I said, Net Plus, it doesn't matter what level of expertise they already have. This Field Tech training would definitely give very good satisfaction on the information that we have already provided, and it gives very basic information that in a very crisp and very easy, understandable way. So I would say Net Plus or A Plus, that's fine. But anybody who wish to start, I think even an expert level for that matter, right? Those who are senior level, they would want to just refresh, and I think they could start learning the Field Tech training.
Great, thank you. Here's a question from Anthony. The training mentions M4 servers, but they are also near the end of support. Can you discuss this a little bit further?
Sure. Let's talk about the M4. So that series of devices are currently being supported heavily. So that's why we have that now. But as you know, Tanner, so we do quick refresh, right? We do minor refresh time to time. So based on the end of life or end of support, we keep doing that. When the time comes, definitely we'll update that portion, whichever is needed. Just update and notify our learners.
Great. Thanks so much, Anish. Mubashir, I'd like to kick it to you for a moment. Do you have any last words or comments you'd like to leave?
Sure, Tanner. So I'll add one point to what Anish just mentioned, that we have a life cycle where we update our certifications every year. So we kind of review them, we see what needs to be changed in a particular certification. So we add things to the certification. We also remove some of the hardware that's going end of life or it's not going to be available. Currently, as Anish highlighted, we do see a lot of people using M4s. So we do need to support them. At the same time, we will be updating it when the time will be right to add new stuff into it and add more stuff. To that point, Tanner, I'll say if you are a candidate who's preparing for field technician, I highly recommend that please go do the new training and the new exam. It has a lot of information in it. It's going to make you capable of going and addressing our customer needs as you go out there and onto our customer sites. I'm really excited about all this new training material that has been created by Anish and his team. It's really interactive. It's really fun to go through it during Cisco U. I'm also thinking to go through it. Maybe I'll do it in a few days, but let's see.
Thanks so much, Mubashir. Anish, I'll ask you the same question.
Yes, definitely, Tanner. So as I just mentioned, the entire demo, or you had seen that, we have kept a field technician, in the perspective of field technician, we have developed and designed this course. So definitely, I think this is going to create, more value to the learners, and it's completely fresh major update that we have done. And I know it's a long wait, and our leadership is very supportive of this program. There are a lot of proposals that we have already put forth for the next level of development. I think this is just a first step. There are more to come, and I certainly believe that whatever information that Mubashir and I have shared has given value to them. I really wish everyone best of luck who wish to take this exam.
That's it for our discussion about the Cisco Certified Field Technician Certification Program. To view the full session this segment was from, which includes Anish's demonstration and walkthrough of the training that's available on Cisco U, please visit the link in the description of this episode. And to find more training videos, study guides, and an entire community ready to help you in your learning journey, please visit the Cisco Learning Network at learningnetwork.cisco.com. And please subscribe to the Cisco Learning Network podcast to get more news and information about the changing world of Cisco certifications. Thanks for listening.